You know, this beef between Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson continues to prove that white supremacy is the most powerful force on this planet. Straight up. You know, we can preach all the black empowerment we want. We can preach the, you know, once we become so-called conscious, we can preach the comedic science and preach the 42 laws of Ma'at, Hotep, and, you know, the Nile Valley and Black African power. You know, the minute some negativity, negative energy, you know, some kind of name calling or disrespect comes across a black man versus another black man, all of that Hotep and comedic science and black empowerment goes right out the window. Our old ways, our niggotry ways, if that's a word, niggotry, our niggotry ways kick in, which is formed from epigenetics, our surroundings, the way we grew up, right? Because of a systemic creation that was created by the dominant white society. In other words, all of these things that's happening right now, right? The way that we act is based off the environment that we grew up, which was created and controlled by the dominant white society. So this so-called beef, and I just came across this family on IG between Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson. It seems like it's very serious. I'll go to my screen right now so you can look at what I'm looking at. I just came across IG just now, and this is what I'm looking at. All right, so I go on Umar Johnson's page. He says, hashtag unapologetically African, Instagram live from Houston, Texas, Friday, December 29th, 11:30 Central Standard Time. I'm going to be asleep by that time, so I will not be watching that. And it says, quote, Dr. Umar responds to recent disrespectful comments concerning his school fund and upcoming hearing. Now, quickly, of course, Tariq Nasheed gets wind of that and responds from this post here. Says, this is from Tariq Nasheed's IG page. Umar Johnson just put up a post talking about he is going to address me and his gloves are off. My message to Umar is bring that shit on, playa. I am not these other dudes you talk slick trash about. I can take the gloves off too. Umar has been disrespecting me for years and I have said nothing. I ain't giving no more passes to this dude. Try me. Then Dr. Umar Johnson gets wind of Tariq Nasheed's response and he posted this. He already had, look at this. He got a team behind him making this post and put this on his IG page. It continues to promote that he's going on live tonight at 11:30 Central Standard Time. It says what Tariq Nasheed posted on his IG page, and Dr. Umar Johnson responds, since your sweet ass talking that ish, we can set a date and get in the ring for real. Real boxing ring, real gloves, real ass whipping. All right, and guys, listen. This is simply an observation. I'm not picking no sides. I'm basically neutral on this. You know, I'm not pro either one of these guys. I'm just basically observing what's going on, and I'm giving you guys my thoughts about what's going on as well. I'll just give you basically what happened at the beginning. Like I said, white supremacy continues to whip our ass on a daily basis while we continue to infight one another. Can you imagine Clockwork Orange, aka Donald Trump, calling out white supremacist organizations like the Zionists, the Right Stuff, alt-right? Can you imagine that? Ku Klux Klan. Can you imagine that? Like just like literally calling them out and wanting to catch a fade, aka wanting to fight them physically out on social media. That would never happen. You know why? Because white supremacy follows a code. Point blank and simple. So let's go back to Tariq Nasheed's page. So after Umar Johnson responded with this post here, Tariq Nasheed came back with a picture of a walrus, which is supposed to be a depiction of Dr. Umar Johnson. This is what Tariq Nasheed said. This fat, fraudulent ass, walrus-looking nigga, Umar Johnson, keeps trying to start beefs to deflect away from the fact that he conned everyone out of their money for his non-existent school that he never was getting built in the first place. There is no school, folks, and there is not going to be a school. I peeped this out a while back, so I wasn't surprised over this bullshit excuses. Man, this is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly, and I just say this. Like I said, I'm neutral on this. I'm just simply observing this, and I'm getting ready to go out on a long vacation for the new year. So I just caught wind of this just now, and you know, this is going to get super ugly in the way Tariq Nasheed responds to beefs. He's like, you know what? Tariq Nasheed reminds me of Cameron in hip hop. Cam is a petty dude. Cam is a real petty dude. And so is Tariq. Cam does not let nothing slide by him whatsoever. Same thing with Tariq. Very petty. He will let nothing slide by. He's going to, guys, this is going to be super ugly. But like I said, the infighting amongst each other, we can do that so easily. Why? It's because it's embedded in our DNA. We have mental disorders. And until you acknowledge that, right? Until you acknowledge you have a mental disorder, which was through epigenetics created by the dominant white society based off your upbringing and surroundings, right? The three mental disorders that I always talk about that black people suffer from: cognitive dissonance, post-traumatic slavery disorder or syndrome, and Stockholm syndrome. And so, but because we suffer these mental disorders, we find it much more easier and much more attainable to fight against each other than to challenge the very system that continues to keep us oppressed, to keep us subjugated, to keep us marginalized, to keep us completely docile, which is white supremacy. It's so easy to attack one another, but when it comes to challenging the system, I remember I talked about I don't even know which video it was or which person it was, but I said, you know what? Since y'all so ramped up to attack one another, right? Y'all are so ramped up and wild up to attack one another. The minute that somebody has an opinion about somebody, and you know, there's a lot of, you know, I know there's a lot of followers between both these guys, Dr. Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed, huge following. So they have a following where, let's say, if one of these guys are spinning out wrong information and we know it's dead wrong, their followers will still defending them even though they're dead wrong. But like I said, it's so easy to attack one another versus challenging the very system that keeps you oppressed, that keeps you docile, that keeps you basically destroyed, right? Down on the bottom of the totem pole. When I said in a video about why don't we just run up on why don't we run up on Uncle Sam? Why don't we try to attack the IRS, right? And I had people talking about, man, you crazy. You can't attack the system. Oh, but it's so easier to attack one another, right? Name calling, challenge people to fighting, shoot. Again, white supremacy is looking down on us like, keep doing what you're doing. We love it. We're at the top. We love what you're doing. Keep acting like dirty, stinking niggers. Making all these damn social media posts on white-owned platforms, challenging each other to a fight, on white-owned platforms, right? That's what they love. As long as their particular systems that they own and control, right, continues to have staggering numbers, their analytics is going crazy, their pockets and their profit margin continues to widen, they're happy. You little niggers continue to fight. That's what we love. Right? That's exactly what they want. They want us to continue to attack and destroy one another. And with Dr. Umar Johnson, man, he has this pattern. Like, I remember last year at this time in December, he was going after who was that conscious brother? I've been out of the conscious community for over a year, so I forget some of these guys' names. I don't follow none of these dudes. What's that guy's name? Sarasut Seti. He was fighting. He was threatening Sarasut Seti. He was pretending like he was on the phone, having that conversation with himself, and the phone rang. I can pull up the video. It's hilarious. Going on this rant, cursing Sarasut Seti out and challenging to a fight. So it's the same exact thing happening this year. Now he's challenging Tariq Nasheed. He's also put Dr. Boyce Watkins on the picture on his post as well. So the very same thing that he complains about, and again, guys, this is my observation. I am not picking no sides. See, I'm very neutral. I'm just giving you my observation on both sides. With Dr. Umar Johnson, I don't see him posting pictures of any white supremacists that he has a problem with. All right. I don't see him posting nobody. I don't see him posting the lawmakers in his state in Pennsylvania, people who put him on trial or for the hearing, rather. I don't see none of that being posted. But I see him tagging Dr. Boyce Watkins and Tariq Nasheed. Right? But like I said, it's so much easier. And excuse me for the bad lighting, family. Like I said, I'm really, most of my stuff is packed. I'm ready to go. First thing tomorrow, I'll be headed out on vacation. So my lighting is moved out of this particular room. So, but anyway, it's so much easier to attack one another, our own people, right, than to challenge the very same system that keeps us suppressed, that keeps us docile, that keeps us disenfranchised, that keeps us crazy, deranged, delusional, all the above, which leads to these mental disorders that we have, right? Like I said, this is what they want. This is what they want. But as I mentioned before, man, this is going to get ugly. I don't know, man. What do you gain out of this? Like, you going on IG Live to air out Dr. Boyce Watkins and Tariq Nasheed. What about your hearing in January for your psychology license? Why don't you address that? Why don't you address the people who are putting you to the hearing, who called you to the hearing? Who are the people behind the scenes? Why don't you address that? Put up some kind of documentation that you really got a certificate of psychology. I personally, like I said in my last video, I don't care about his damn credentials. I don't care about that. But apparently people do. That's why you're going on this hearing on January the 8th, I believe. Why don't he talk about that? Why do you have to talk about Dr. Boyce Watkins and Tariq Nasheed? I'm confused by that. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Well, address the fact that what's the status on the school that you're building, right? People want to know, what's the status on? Do you have a property? Do you really have a property, right? People want to see so-called receipts. But like I said, I'm past that. I don't follow none of these dudes anymore, man. In the past, when I was in the conscious community, I was doing lectures. I did hidden color screenings. I did lectures with Dr. Umar Johnson. Brought him down here to South Florida. I'm not with the conscious, the so-called Black Power conscious community. I don't do that. I do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I do my own thing. So, it just behooves me as to why you want to attack, or not attack, you want to address Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Boyce Watkins, when you could use that time to address the real issues that you're facing? You're going on a hearing in January. Why don't you talk about that? Why isn't that being posted on your IG post? You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, I don't know, man. But like I said, this is gonna get ugly. I guess when I find time, sometime tomorrow, I'll try to watch the recording. Someone's gonna re-upload it. This is gonna be on IG Live. Someone's gonna re-upload it on YouTube, and I'll try to catch it on YouTube later on this weekend, and give you guys my thoughts on that. But this is gonna get very ugly, because like I said, Tariq is King Petty. He is the Cameron of the Black empowerment movement, if you will, or the Black conscious community movement, if you will. He is the king of petty, just like Cameron, straight up. Yeah, but like I said, this is gonna get ugly, and Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Umar Johnson have had a riff for a few years now. This dated back like 2-3 years, so they always had their issues. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, and Boyce Watkins did talk about that in a couple of videos. Actually, just recently, he addressed that. So, you know, it is what it is, man. And like I said, it's so much easier to attack one another. That's the exact same reason why Margaret Sanger created her abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood, in our so-called Black communities, to control our population based off eugenics, which is called eugenics, rather. This is to minimize issues like this, right? When you have prominent Black public figures where their effort is to defeat white supremacy, but find it more convenient to attack one another. It's so much easier to attack one another than to actually mobilize collectively as a group, come up with a game plan, and defeat white supremacy. That's way harder, way more difficult. But it's easier to attack one another. That's the way it is, man. You know, those are my thoughts on that, man. So we'll see what happens. He's supposed to be going live. I'll be asleep. I'm not watching that. So I'll catch it if it does happen. I'm pretty sure it'll be uploaded for Dr. Umar Johnson's live, his Instagram live post. I'm pretty sure it'll be uploaded on YouTube, and I'll watch that and give you guys my thoughts on that sometime this weekend. So, all right, family. So it is what it is. Those are my thoughts on that, family. Until next time, Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist. Make sure you follow me on social media, on Instagram, on the gram at the Black Separatist, Twitter, Black Separatist. All social media links will be down below in the description. Until next time, family, Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.